Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with another video. Now, before we get started, I want to let you know, if you're watching this on upload day, the 10th of March, well, the 11th of March, sorry, I'm recording this on the 10th. The 11th of March, all t-shirts on sale at junkmanmerch.com. 40% off. You want to check that out. Around $13, $14, depending on what size you get. We even have this new one right here that's probably not going to be up for long because, you know, I'm calling it the start of it all. I think it's kind of neat. Check that out. But what are we going to do today? Well, I was thinking earlier about elementary school. You know, the school before middle school, before junior high, as some of you call it. You know, I never heard that term junior high until I got a little older, and people on TV always said it. Talking before high school, when, you know, when it was cool to be in school. But I'm talking those earlier years. You know, first grade, probably to about the fifth grade, elementary school years, those formative years, when you really seem like you really learned something. I guess, but high school is just doing what you can to get the day over with. But I started thinking, man, what about those stressful days? Remember those days where everything was just so stressful? I know you're only like 11 years old, but to you, it was the most stressful thing in your life sometime. And I started thinking about these days at school, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to go over some of the 10 most stressful days out of my school year. And hopefully some of you guys can relate also that grew up. Now, it's probably a lot different kids today with their cell phones in class, or they probably think it's stressful. The teacher tells them, hey, there's no Wi-Fi today. But here are some things that really stress me out, at least back in the day. Number 10, again, these aren't really in any kind of order, just the order I wrote them in. Number 10, book fair day. Now, not only is this a stressful day in my life as a kid, it was also one of the best days out of the year. I ain't gonna lie to you. That field day was probably the best. Field day's not on the list because field day was just great. Remember one time they brought this junk car, and for like $1 we could get a sledgehammer and beat this car to death. It was a lot of fun. I love that. Took the glass out, sadly. But anyway, let me get back to what we did, what was stressful. Book fair day. Now you're saying, Junkman, how can that be stressful? It was a great day. Well, back then your mom would probably give you cash, maybe a check that was already filled out, but most of the time cash. And it was like, here's $20. And that was a hard decision. You got to leave your classroom during the middle of the day, go into the library. They had a little path set up with all these books and everything, maybe some pencils and erasers and stuff. And this was like the first time as a kid you actually felt like you went somewhere by yourself and you had the freedom to pick out anything you wanted. What would you get? Would you get the Star Wars pop-up book? Would you get the Indiana Jones Choose Your Own Adventure? Or would you get the kitty cat poster of the cat hanging from the tree singing, hang in there? That way you can give it to a special girl in class or something. It was stressful. You're like, okay, first you got to add up, make sure you got enough money. You usually had enough money to get maybe one, maybe two books. Unless you were that kid like, you know, those other kids. They would have a stack of books like this, and $50 bill or something. But for the most part, you had to spend that money wisely. You had to spend it wisely. It was stressful. It was great. It was a lot of fun. But, you know, you were like, oh, book fair's coming. By the time you got there, you were stressed out. You didn't want to blow book fair day. Trust me, there was some that I wish I could get back and do over because I bought the damn wrong book. Now, number 9, I don't know if you guys had this at your school. We did when I went to I went to a public school, then a private school, then back to a public school. So when I went to private school, we had this. We always had every couple of months a fun day. You know, something that was wacky tacky day or something where you get to wear a wacky tacky shirt. But the stressful one for me was, what was it called? Signed t-shirt day. This is where you got to wear just a white t-shirt. And throughout the day, people would sign your shirt, put their name on it and everything. And I know that don't sound too stressful for you, but as me, it was stressful because I was starting to think, what if it's the end of the day? We're all leaving. I ride a school bus home. We'll probably, you know, and take about 30 minutes to get home. But what if school's over, the school was kindergarten all the way through 12th grade? What if I'm standing out there with my white shirt on and I've got like 2 names on it? 2 names. And everybody else in the school's got shirts with names all over it. There was some kids, especially in the upper grades, that had a white t-shirt on. They had so many names, you couldn't even tell it was a white shirt anymore. They was just couldn't even find a place to write a name if you wanted to. And of course, I would get everyone in the class because everybody would just do it. Just you sign my shirt, I sign yours. So I knew I would at least. We had small classes, so I knew I'd at least have like 8 or 9. Oh, luckily my sister was in high school with me. My brother, I think he already transferred out and went to another school by then. So I knew my sister would get some of her friends. So, but I still would worry about it. I wouldn't have all the names. I wouldn't have a lot of names. But at least I wouldn't, at the end of the day, have just 3 or 4 names on my shirt. But I can remember being stressed out about that the day before. It's like, what I do? I actually thought one time I brought an extra shirt with me. I said, hey, I don't know, I'll change into my regular shirt if I don't get enough people to sign it. That way after school, I'll just look at I'll just look at that kid that didn't want to do the signed t-shirt day or something. I know, it was stressful. Trust me. It's more stressful than it sounds. Oh, where we at now? Number 8 on the list. Here we go. Show and tell day. Now, this was a special day at school where finally you got to bring something from your house, something you play with. You could actually bring a toy to school. Now, you had to put it in your book bag or keep it in your desk bag. I don't know if they even still have desk bags. But, you wasn't allowed to take it out unless it was during show and tell. This is where you got to stand up in front of the class, pull out your thing. Well, take that back. Pull out the item you want to show. Wasn't that kind of school. I meant I could bring I remember one time I brought my land speeder from my Star Wars Kenner collection and talked about it. But I was always so stressed out for this. What do I bring? Do I bring the wrong thing? Do I bring something that makes me look nerdy and stupid? Then get made fun of? Do I bring something that makes me look cool? What do I bring? And I would sit there and stress out about it. What if I bring something and my friend Grady or someone else from the class brought that also? Whoa, my God, what am I going to do? What if I bring something I think is really cool and everybody laughs at it? It was rough. It was a rough time, show and tell day. Every other kid was looking forward to show and tell day, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What if I don't have... I always had to find something unique. That was I was like, I got to bring something unique. Except one time I got sent to the principal's office because I brought my Chinese throwing star. Anybody remember those? This was a different time period for sure, where you could actually be like 10 years old, walk into a store and buy, without any questions, a throwing star. This was a sharp star. The ninjas had them throw them, and they were real. They wasn't plastic. They wasn't rubber. They were real. They stick around the tree. Now, I think they were illegal to sell. If you notice, any one that you probably bought had a hole in it. For some reason, if you put a hole in the middle, they said it was jewelry, and you could buy it no matter what. It was an odd time. Kids buying ninja weapons, and no one questioned it. I had nunchucks. No one questioned it. I can remember walking around the street in 1984 with a damn machete in my hand, and no one called the police. Different times, I swear. But show and tell day was stressful. Now, here's another stressful day of my life growing up. Random lunch day. Now, most of the time I took my lunch to school, at least in these early days here. But I knew not to take my lunch on Wednesday. I left my lunchbox at home on Wednesday because that's the day we had square pizza. And we all loved square pizza. Although sometime in the middle it was really, really cold, it was still good. It's probably, to me, it's the best pizza I ever had. Probably if I went back and ate that pizza now, it's like, oh, it tastes like cardboard. But back then, I really did love it. So I knew pizza day. But most of the time, the rest of the week, it was stuff. I remember when they had something called squash. I was like, sound like somebody sat on it. What is squash? I don't know. I remember one night they had something called meatloaf. Ugh. I'm a very picky eater still to this day. I buy a hamburger, it's got to have cheese and ketchup, nothing else on it. I don't eat onions, I don't eat lettuce, I don't eat tomatoes. I'm really, really picky. So they would have food I've never even seen before. But it was like maybe every other Friday they would have a day where they wouldn't tell you what they were going to cook. It was random. And it was stressful because I knew it was coming up. And I was like, do I bring my lunch and eat my PB&J sandwich? Or do I risk it? And it's got liverwurst. What do I do? I mean, I want to bring my bologna sandwich and then find out it was 2-for-1 corn dog day. You know how horrible that would be if I missed 2-1 corn dog day. And believe me, if you had your lunchbox, you couldn't get in the food line. They watched this. They wouldn't let you change your mind until the last minute. Once you put your lunchbox in that cubby hole, that was it. You have signed up for a lunchbox eating. Even if it was corn dog day or hot dog day. I can always eat to me, I never tasted a bad hot dog. Or maybe it was another pizza day. It was random, but it would stress me out of what am I going to do? Most of the time, I would just take my lunchbox just in case, because 90% of the time, I wouldn't like what they was going to give me, probably. Whew. Stressed out just thinking about that. Number 6. Field day buddy. Field day buddy. Now, I don't mean going on the field day. Going on a field day was fun. We went to the Science Museum one year. It was a lot of fun. Mary turned on a strobe light, and we all got to do the robot. I probably did it better back then. But we would have to pick a buddy. That's when everybody in class, again, I had a small class, probably 8 to 10 students, depending on what year it was. And a lot of times my friend Boyd, we would pick. A lot of times we would pick, but then he started dating this one girl named Danielle, and they started, and then I was left with no buddy. I was like, Grady, you want to be my buddy? But I was like, what if I don't get to pick my buddy? I would always try to get Amy Kobe as my buddy, but never got to. Never got to pick first. I was always be at the one. I was like, oh, who do I get to pick? I was stressed out. What if I get a buddy like that? Esther. There was a girl named Esther. Rebecca. Smell like fish. What if she picked me as a buddy? Then I have to sit with her on the bus, and we have to do everything together, the field trip, because you had to make sure your buddy was, most time it was either me, Boyd, or my friend Justin, or Grady. One of us, we would all hook up somehow, but there was always that odd chance you might get Rebecca, you might get Esther. You never got Danielle or Jennifer, or I guess we called her Jenny, and never got Amy as my buddy. My buddy. Oh, my buddy. Another stressful day. Number 5. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Ew, what's all over this card? Look at that. Ugh. That's a penny down the drain. Let me get another one here. Number 5. Valentine's Day. Valentine. People say I say it funny. Valentine's Day. Sounds right to me. Anyway, Valentine's Day. Now, this is a little different. When my kids went to school, it was Valentine's Day. They all had they would tell you how many kids in class. Each one they wasn't even allowed to put a name on it when my kids went to school. You just bring like 20 kids in class, 20 Valentines. No names on it. But in my class, you got a Valentine's Day card if somebody wanted to give you one. You could sit there in class and nobody they would pass them around. They skip over you. Nobody cared. Now, most of the time, everybody would give everybody in the class a card. They didn't want anybody to feel bad. Didn't have to. Most of the time they did. But you did have to watch who you gave them to. I still remember to this day, 3rd grade. Danielle, who later became the love interest to my friend Boyd, probably a year later, she gave me a card that said, I think you're pickles. And you scratch a sniff and had a pickle on it. It smelled like a pickle. I remember looking at that card. For years I kept that card. I don't know why. I didn't really have a crush on her, but she was a girl and she gave me a card and I thought it was funny. It was scratch a sniff. I loved that. It was a pickle. She probably knew I read sweet pickle books. So I just always thought, hey, she tailor-made that card for me, but she probably didn't. And, of course, I had a crush on a girl named Amy, and I would always look through my cards to find the best one to give her. And then she'd just give me a card like, well, there you go. Just throw whatever one was at the bottom of her bucket, probably, onto my desk. Oh, I like to scratch and sniff her. Okay, let's go. Well, at least I would have back then. Okay, where are we at now? Ooh, number 6. This is kinda like maybe to pick the buddy list. Remember this PE class? Mostly when we played baseball or whenever we had to play a game where you had to be picked. Cause I knew I was gonna be picked last. Usually Boyd would be second to last. John would be picked first. They would all fight over who picks John. I don't know, or he would usually start to pick his team. They would take the two best pickers to pick the best team. But I was stressed out about it. Even the big girl, Rebecca, would get picked to play kickball before I would. We would just pray to God we wouldn't last. Me, Boyd, and friend Justin and his big old stupid hair and a couple others, we would just, don't be last, don't be last. We can be second to last, don't be last, don't be last. You don't want to be like, I guess I'll take him. It was stressful. I don't know about you. Maybe you guys got picked first or somewhere in the middle. But if you were one of those who got picked last or close to last, you knew how stressful it was. You didn't want to be picked last. Not at all.
Ooh, this kid is stressed out about everything.
It's like
I tell you what I'm stressed out about. Him throwing me. Why does he always have to throw us?
You're the last one to pick.
It's not fun at all.
That is kind of like not being picked at all. You know?
Hold on, here he goes. He's ready to throw.
There's no one else to pick, so they have to pick you. You know, that's just all there is to it. You just have to be picked. Okay, where we at now? Number three. This is another day. You know, like I said, we had weird days like signed t-shirt day, wacky tacky day, and this was dress down day. Now, in the private school, we didn't really have much of a dress code, but you know, you couldn't wear anything you wanted, but it wasn't a strict dress code. But on dress down day, you could wear a shirt with KISS on it and they wouldn't say nothing. I know my one friend wore a Budweiser shirt, and this is like the 4th grade, nobody said nothing. So I was stressed out about that one also. It's like, oh, what do I wear? I always want to wear a Star Wars shirt, but I didn't have many Star Wars shirts. They were hard to find back then, unless you got the iron on, and then you put the iron on and wash it 3 times, and start peeling off. So I would look through my clothes and I remember I had one with this big old truck on it. It wasn't Bigfoot. It was like Bigfoot, and it's a 4x4. And I used to like to wear that on dress down day. That was always a lot of fun, but I was stressed out. And then what's odd is this carried over to my daughter. They would have dress down day at her school because her school was more rules about clothes. So when they had dress down day, she would worry all day, what if I got the day wrong and I dress down and I get to school and it's not dress down day? Everyone's going to laugh at me. Wasn't that the big thing? Even me. I was like, what if I pick the wrong shirt for dress down day? They're all going to laugh at me. I'm glad to see she was worried she was going to get laughed at as much as I was. But dress down day, I would kind of stress out about it also. Probably was no reason. No one cared what I wore for dress down day. Only me, and I would stress about it. Ugh. Number 2. Yearbook photo day. Yearbook photo day. Now this shouldn't be anything to worry about. You wear your best clothes that day. You sit down. You sit. You smile. You get your picture taken, and you move on. But there I am stressing out, pulling my hair out because they would tell us 2 weeks ahead of time. Probably send a note home. Picture day's coming. You're gonna be in the yearbook. Everyone in school's gonna see it, and you can buy wallet size or 8x10s. Still got tons and tons of wallet sizes. My parents, nobody wanted a wallet picture of me. I can tell you that. I don't even know where my parents bought them. But they would send a note home, and I probably wouldn't give it to nobody. And then Friday night or Monday morning when I get to school or whatever day to take a picture, I wouldn't know about it. They'd say, today's picture day. And I was like, what? My hair's all big. I hadn't got it cut. Probably got boogers in my nose. And I'm stressing out. Not all, I'm stressing out from the time I get to school. It's like, I'm going to look. This is going in the yearbook. Everyone's going to see this. They're all going to laugh at me. Again, I'm back to everybody was going to laugh at me. It was stressful. So I'll be spitting in my hand trying to get my hair. I always right here, a little cowlick that I like to stick up. Still to this day, if I let my hair grow, well, it's right here. It's like a cow been licking on it. I know why they call it a cowlick. It looks like a cow's been doing that to your hair. Oh my God. Yearbook day, just because I wouldn't plan ahead. Oh my God, that didn't throw good at all. I didn't plan ahead. Now, the number 1 most stressful day of school growing up. What is it? First day. That's right, the first day. Whew, that whole week I would be stressed out. Do I have the right lunchbox to look cool? What if Pac-Man's not in vogue anymore? And it was in the summer when everybody had Pac-Man fever and I bought a Pac-Man lunchbox. What if I go to school and they're like, hey dude, we're moving on to Centipede. Oh, and then I'm stuck for the rest of the year. I'll be known as Pac-Man boy because I brought a Pac-Man lunchbox to school. Or what about when I had my Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox? What if that wasn't cool anymore? What if I bought my Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox, and then during the summer, Coy and Vance came on, and everybody hates Dukes of Hazzard now. I didn't know what to do. What if I bought these shoes, and no, they're not cool enough? What if I bought this shirt, and it's stupid? Just thinking about it now is stressing me out, especially that lunchbox. That lunchbox would really stress me out. That lunchbox. Watch. What if I got the wrong kind of watch? And again, it didn't matter. No one cared. I could come to school with a Humpty Dumpty lunchbox and nobody would probably say anything. Well, there's that one kid. But I was stressed about it all week. And then what's my teacher going to be? What if my teacher's evil? What if my teacher's like Miss Nelson and she goes missing and a witch shows up? It was stressful. Even in the high school, we would get these cards show us where our room's going to be. And I'll be calling all my friends, who's your homeroom teacher? Who's your homeroom teacher? Oh my God, I got blah, blah. It's just a homeroom, dude. Calm down. Just homeroom. You don't have to do any work. You just go there so you're not on the absentee list. But it's homeroom. I ain't got nobody in there that I know. I got to have somebody I know. Stressed out just thinking about, oh my God, this video is stressing me out. I'm getting the hell out of here. I want to thank you for joining us for this noon video. We'll be back tonight at 8 o'clock with another video. Let me know some things that stressed you out when you went to school. Thumb up, turn on my content, subscribe to the channel. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.